Hello. Um, Bit of an update video, I guess. It's been a bit since I've made one. I've had a few different requests on topics, which is good. One of which that I'm going to do is on rejection, mainly parental rejection when you come out of the closet. I know that a lot of people that come out don't have it easy when it comes to their family. I especially had a hard time when I came out, mainly because it was a long time ago and it was before, I wouldn't say acceptance, but coming out today is a lot different than it was 10 years ago when I did. And I guess it all depends too on where you're coming out from, like where in the world. Different areas are a lot more accepting than others. Small towns, not so much. That's where I'm from a small town, so that's why it wasn't so easy on me. I guess the person that requested this is just not having a good time. So I guess that's, I'm not really sure how to help people through this, because honestly, like, every situation's different. It all depends on your family, it depends on religion, it depends on your own acceptance of yourself, and I think really that's the big thing. When you do decide to come out, especially to your family, it's a lot different than, say, your friends, because it's your family. It's phone's ringing. Just wait for that.
Call from Rayvoot Insurance.
That's obnoxious.
Call from Rayvoot Insurance.
I'm not at my house right now, so that's why I'm not answering the phone. Yeah, finally. I'm at my girlfriend's house
Hi,
right now.
Nick. It's Giselle calling from Rebate Insurance. If you could call me back, please. Pembridge
There goes the messaging
Insurance
machine.
requesting some information. My
This
number
is the second attempt at making a video with this fucking phone. It just doesn't end.
Thank you.
So loud. Anyways, I'm at my girlfriend's house. That's why I'm not answering the phone. I just don't feel it's appropriate to answer the phone, because obviously it's not for me. Shut up. Okay, so yeah, by the way, I have a girlfriend now. That's an update since the last video, I guess. I'm no longer single. Surprise! Anyways, completely has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but yeah. So what was I saying? Train of thought. Oh, okay. This is going really well. So yeah, like I said, it really depends on the situation when you're coming out. So giving advice in that sense is difficult. What I was trying to say was, when you're coming out to your family, I think the first thing that you need to be sure of is you are 100% sure of yourself. That sounds really awful, but just be sure that, you know, what you're telling them is accurate. I guess just be sure that you accept yourself, because the only way that anyone else is going to accept you is if you accept yourself. And if you don't accept yourself, it's going to show. It's kind of like a confidence in a sense. You have to be okay with yourself if you expect anyone else to be okay with it. And I think also, too, initially your parents are not going to be okay with it. It's pretty much 90% of the time parents are not going to be okay with it. I know there's quite a few people that I've talked to, and they've come out and it was a breeze, and I'm like, what? Well, that's awesome, good for you, but in most cases that's not the way it's going to be. You have to remember your parents are from a different era. Like, when they grew up, it was a different time. They were brought up differently. Their parents were brought up differently. They were taught to believe different things. Accurate or not, I know it's bullshit, but you need to give them time to like digest what you're telling them. And I know it's frustrating and blah blah blah. I'm your child. You should love me regardless of who I take into the bedroom. Yes, that's true, and yes, that's how I thought too. But it is a lot to take in, and I think you know that yourself because when you're realizing, I think I'm gay, you're like, wow, what the fuck? What in the fuck? And that's pretty much what's going through their head too, because you don't. When you have a child, that's not the first thing you're thinking of, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that your parents know that you're gonna have a harder life because you are choosing this road. It is a more difficult road, um, mainly just because not everyone accepts it. So be sure of yourself when you're telling them. Make sure that you're completely comfortable before you say anything. It's going to show to them that you know who you are and you are okay with who you are. And if they see that, they're going to be a lot quicker to accept you because they see in you that okay, this is the way she or he is. It's going to take some time, but we're going to have to get over it because it's not going to change. And just give them time to digest it. They're probably going to say some things, some hurtful things. Um, Try not to take it to heart. They're your parents, they love you. They're your family, they love you. Um, when I came out, trust me, it was not a nice scene. um, if you've met my family now and seen the way they were with me and my relationships and everything, you would never know that I went through what I went through when I came out. Honestly, like, I've come a long way. And my mother's probably the most homophobic person I've ever encountered in my life. My own mother was. And she had to go to a lot of meetings, read a lot of books. She was on medication. She said a lot of hurtful things, and our relationship was strained for a few years. But we're closer now than we ever have been. And even when she was saying all this stuff and it was constant, and she was constantly like, oh, it's a phase, you'll grow out of it, and saying all these awful things, a lot of people will kind of like go into a shell and just not say anything and try to hide who they are. Don't do that. That's the one thing I suggest not to do because the more you put it in their face, and I don't mean like, oh, like make out with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, whatever, in front of your parents because that's disrespectful. I just mean don't hide the fact that you are the way you are. You don't have to like every single day like I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay, but like if you are in a relationship or you're talking about your life or someone you like or anything like that, don't sugarcoat things because you think that it's going to make things better. They need to hear it, they need to see it, they need to be surrounded by this to get used to it. It's like as humans, we will adapt to pretty much any circumstances that you put us in, and that's like we're amazing in that sense that we will adapt in any situation, and that's what I guess I'm trying to say. Like, give them time, and be okay with yourself, and don't hide it. Once you come out, don't hide it because you already told them. They know. Like, just live your life, and eventually they'll. I don't know what happens. It's just like one day it clicks, and they they don't see you any differently. They don't hate your lifestyle. They just kind of accept that that is the way things are, and that's the way things are going to be. I'm not really sure if this is going to help anyone at all, because like I said, it depends on the situation. It depends on religion, it depends on your family, it depends on where you're from, it depends on a lot of different things. But when I was coming out, this is just what helped me. I never hid anything. I was always okay with myself. I'm very proud of who I am. And I think that's the big thing. It takes a big step to accept who you are and look in the mirror and realize, okay, this is it. This is the way I am. And once you love yourself, it changes everything. So just be sure that you are okay with yourself be accepting of yourself, and then come out. And remember that it took you time to be okay with yourself. So when your parents are taking a bit of time, or your family, your siblings, aunts, uncles, whatever, whoever you're telling, if it takes them a bit of time, just remember that it took you a bit of time to be okay as well. And just think of how okay you are now. Um, that old saying, "Once a time heals everything," and you know, I'm not really a firm believer on that, but in this case, time does help. Just it takes time and it sucks, but time. That's the only thing that I can tell you is it's gonna take a bit of time. Accept it. Be okay with yourself. Love yourself, and everyone else will love you regardless. And don't think that your parents hate you because you're gay, because I can guarantee that's not the case. Although I know it's gonna feel like that, and it does feel like that. But never be ashamed of yourself, and never think down on yourself. No matter what people say to you, it does not matter. And that's why I say be sure of yourself and love yourself regardless, because that's the only way anyone else can love you is if you love yourself. So I really don't know if this was the video that this person was asking for, but this is what I got. I hope that it helps in some way, and I hope that when you do come up to your parents, or if you have already, I hope that things get better. I know that they will, but yeah, just hang in there. It does get better. It does. Coming as the first step to your happiness. So I wish you all the best. Be happy, be proud, and be gay. Woo! Bye, guys.